Twitch is definitely live. YouTube's live. Hello, Rand. Alright. Schellendorf. I don't like Schellendorf. But I'll probably be playing Tur. Because I'm still not exactly feeling good. Like, I'm definitely still a bit sick. I have just a glass of... It's a cold medicine, but it's like a juice crystal stuff. I don't know what to call it. It's weird. It's feel-good juice. Anything in here I don't already own? Nope. What does this have? Main power-up. I have enough main power-up headgear. So that is a beanie. I'll buy it. Now. Hello, Laffy. I think I'll spend today where I'm still not exactly feeling great, just practicing with weapons. I think that's a good thing to do. Bomb rush. Actually, I'll keep swim speed. I don't know if this will actually help or not. Who knows? I have no idea how to use a blaster. I mean, these are two kind of wide open maps. This should, in theory, work. Hopefully. Probably not. Cat Lord. What time is it? It's midnight. I need to update my schedule so it says, you know, stream starting at this time instead of an hour from now. I'm usually awake at this time. I don't tend to even get up during the day until like much later. For now at least there, Rand, because I'm still not exactly feeling the best, so. Ow. So I'm doing weapon practice. I'm not doing so great. Again, I also feel like my normal shoes might help with this a little more. Ah! I got a kill! Oh jeez! No one saw that. I have played Conkers. Ow. At least they died too. Yeah, there's no way I'm winning that. Alright, Laffy. Yeah, I should start leaving my own inclines around the place, if I can. I am very bad at this. I am very bad at this. But that's the point of practice, I suppose. It would probably help if I wasn't still slightly lightheaded. I also probably would have done better had I not fell in the water. I mean, that's just kind of what happens when I'm not used to having this swim speed. I mean, I think I'm at, like... equivalency-wise, I think I'm just over having 3 mains worth of swim speed. Because I think I'm at 2 mains, 4 subs. Ow. Every time I get my bomb rush, I explode. Okay, that's some lag. That is some serious lag on that person's end. Jeez. This thing definitely feels like a longer range, more vulnerable undercover. Ow. Died to a torpedo. Ow. I took them with me. Possibly I should attempt using some run speed. See if that can help me any. The swim speed isn't so much. Ow. Hello, laggy person. Well, I mean, I survived a fair little bit there. Oh, this is at least a win. I also really apologize if you can hear me swallowing my drink. It does not taste very good, and my body does not actually want to down it, but it has to, whether it wants to or not. See if this helps me a bit. Hey, Schellendorf. Had to happen eventually. Yeah. I mean, it is a Monday, so I don't really expect... I don't really expect many people here. Monday is the worst day for streaming. And I don't know, honestly. There's no one chatting on Twitch at the moment. Doesn't mean there isn't anyone there watching. Well, that just happened. See, I'm indifferent on days, so I don't really have an opinion in that matter. Fair enough. Ow. I don't think I've ever really disliked Mondays, except for, you know, when I was going to school. And it was purely because it meant, tomorrow I get to walk to a place that I hate being in. Ow. Or bike. It was my own choice to walk or bike. I mostly did it because it just made it easier to skip school. But that's another reason why even then I didn't particularly dislike Mondays, because I was an idiot and skipped school a lot. Well, I say I was an idiot. I was smart enough to realize that it was wasting my time to go to school. But at the same time, it wasn't. Now check. There is 3 viewers on Twitch. So hello, Twitch viewers. It's currently at 2. Yeah, as I've said many times on these streams, don't do what I did as a kid. It may suck, but if you're in school, go to school. It might be boring, it might be, while you're there, pointless, but that piece of paper you're given is worth the boredom and the absolute just worthlessness of being there. Well, that's a lot of snipers. Ow, I was trying to this way. That way someone might be able to come help, because I was completely out of ink. Can't say I exactly have a reason. Other than to stick it to death. Because I don't think I've exactly kept it hidden of I have been, and kinda still am, suicidal. I mean, my girlfriend being around helps a lot with that as well. Ow. Ah! The Lord of Cats with me. Could effectively break my answer down to, I'm just too stubborn to let death win. Thing is, my days usually aren't the same because I go out of my way to vary them up. It helps that, you know, what I am doing for an attempting career anyway is something I can just go, you know, I want to do, you know, something different today and just do it. Ow. You may not be uber successful, but you can still make a pretty big difference in people's lives. I'm gonna try a different rapid blaster if I can find one. I'll try this one for a bit. Thing is, there's no saying you might not accomplish that. You don't need to try and rush into everything. And if you fail at it the first time, that doesn't mean that you're gonna fail at it the next. I mean, hell, look at me. I've spent a good amount of time of my, life so far attempting to just do anything productive. I don't stop. See, there's one thing that I've learned from looking at the people that I know of that have succeeded. They're the ones who don't give up. I mean, there really is no reason to just kind of give up. Ow. Yeah, even the most unpopular artist still has fans. You still get noticed by people. I'm just using artists as an example. Ow. I mean, I'm just gonna even just use myself as an example. Pretty sure if I kicked the bucket tomorrow, there'd be at least one of you who follow these streams who would feel the same thing that they do when, say, a famous celebrity dies. It might honestly feel worse because I have a more personal connection with a lot of you. Because that's kind of a tricky thing, because there's no guarantee you will always inspire somebody, but more often than not, ow, you can inspire people without even being successful. Ow. Well, then keep living for music. I'm assuming just by the amount you talk about it and how much you like it, that that's a career you'd like to get into. It may not be obvious, but at least of the musicians I know of, most of them started from basically nothing. Nowadays, it's probably easier than ever before to make an impact in the music industry. You can play an instrument or sing, and you can upload it to YouTube. There's your start. And if you can't play, well, it's easier than ever to learn to play, too. Ow. The only still really big hurdle is getting an instrument. And equipment. I mean, in a lot of cases, like, to even just make some sort of music these days, you don't even necessarily need an instrument. Just a mind for music and a computer that you can edit tracks together with. Make remixes. And quite honestly, from talking with you, you've definitely got the mind for music. Ow. 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 This thing's biggest weakness is its range. Jeez. But I think I've gotten a little better at least turfing with it. Getting my specials actually off. 6 kills, I suppose it isn't the worst. Yeah, I'm sure it's definitely possible. I'll give you the same advice that I have to constantly remind myself of, and I keep giving to my girlfriend as well, is don't expect to be an instant hit. Like, don't expect to instantly be popular. You need to work your way up. And it can really suck. Like, sitting and seeing the numbers either fluctuate in minor amounts or just stagnate. But they do keep going up eventually. Ow. That person just jumped off the cliff. The one really big advantage you could have getting into, you know, the music side of things, especially on YouTube, is collabs are brilliant. I honestly wish I had the ability to do more of them, but they're not exactly the easiest thing to do for streaming. Unless you can have the people meet up. Ah, we had a disconnect. Okay. That might explain why we're having our butts kicked so much. I mean, probably. I need to change weapons. And from what I've seen, just at least the YouTube music community definitely seems to be very welcoming to collabs. Yeah, I'll give a splatter shot a go. Yeah, I'll use this one. Hello, Cuddlefish. I can't aim, but it didn't matter. Ow. Is that a dynamo rolling? I mean, whatever floats the boat, I guess. Another big advantage of music is there are a lot of creators looking for music. That can also help, you know, gain popularity. You get more eyes, well, ears on whatever you make. Ow. Slash that disgusting drink down. Why would someone name themselves Crunchwrap? I'm not that much into music, so I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly. And especially because, as from what I understand, that would also depend on the genre as well. Because, like, from what I understand, like, rap and hip-hop tend to basically just constantly use the same sort of beats to them, rhythm, whatever it is. They tend to be very similar, like, to each other. And quite often were built upon piracy. I know that much. I'm not very musically inclined, as you might be able to guess. In a way, I suppose the best suggestion I can give is to take, to take a listen to a fair bit of, like, video game music, and then listen to the same track, but from its sequel. Ow. Like, if that makes any sense. And that would be, like, what something that is directly inspired would sound like. So you just need to tone it back a bit from that, I would assume. That could be said for every field. I mean, like, as far as, like, drawing art goes, there are a ton of artists like that that are completely unnoticed. Which is partially what I have to keep reminding my girlfriend about. Only with it gets kind of annoying when, like, you can even look at, say, something like DeviantArt, and it's just like, how is this person even as popular as they are? Because their art will just look lazy. The best thing to remember is that effectively you do it because you want to do it. Don't just go into something for the popularity. Or else you will probably burn yourself out very quickly. I mean, the best example I can give is just myself here. I don't stream in the pure hope that I'll become popular and be able to turn this into a job. I stream because I want to. If I didn't want to do this, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this. That's why I hate so much when I take breaks, especially when they're not intentional. I mean, like, yesterday, I really wanted to stream, but I knew it was better I take the night to, rest and get feeling better instead of pushing myself. Yeah, I get that. But it's in our nature as humans to want to see numbers get bigger. I'm just saying to try not to let that get to your head when you get started, or else you will, basically depress yourself. Because humans are dumb. Ow. I mean, like, why is the human brain so weird, or why do people that are clearly not the best end up getting put on the pedestals? Or both. Because I kind of have an answer for both. Hello, Ryan. I think I'm doing moderately good with a splash shot. Fair enough. Yeah. Thanks for hosting as well. I should really change that message. It seems to have defaulted again. It's like, it's where I changed it at one point to just is hosting. That means I need to log into Restream. Not Restream. Streamlabs. Change it that way. I should go back to using Streamlabs at some point. Alright, Ryan. Have a good night. I think we have partiers going on. Oh, jeez. Ow. Ow. I feel as though I am the only one doing anything on my entire team. Ow. Might find a different lobby after this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna find a different lobby. If there's even time to. I didn't realize it was like 2 minutes to the rotation. I could probably do a pair league, yeah. I think it's gonna swap to Clam, isn't it, though? That's fine. Ow. Well, that's embarrassing. Alright. Ow. Brain, please. swear I saw movement. Guess not. Ow. Like music labels? I don't know. I don't know enough about music. I do really wish I could be a bigger help. I know a fair bit about the music side of YouTube because I followed Dan Bull for quite a while. Who's a British fast rapper is the best way to put it. He does video gamey stuff. Dan Bull. D-A-N-B-U-L-L. Oh geez, Moray Towers. I can't guarantee I will stay for long, but Hello, Agent X, even though he apparently can't hear me. I hate Moray Towers for Clam. I might as well just stick with this. Moray Towers Clam is what made me just have a dislike for Clam Blitz. Unless they've changed it. If they've changed how the map's laid out a bit, I might actually, you know, not hate it. I mean, yeah, I like Moray Towers. I just don't like it with Clam. At all. And they could fix my problem with it by moving the net, like the ball, up a level. So it doesn't take like 30 seconds to get back to it. Like, that's the biggest problem, is that it takes about 30 seconds to get back to your own net if you die. Assuming no swim speed is involved. It's probably a bit faster with some swim speed. If the path is already completely inked. Because a lot of that time is spent falling. Oh hey, it's Japan o'clock. Oh hey. Well, no, I suppose it'd be 2 levels. They'd need to raise it up. Yeah, I'm so dead. Didn't realize he was right there. Darn it. I mean, I don't think I'm doing the worst, but eh. Yeah, good old super jumping if you have the ball. That shouldn't be allowed. You should have to drop it. And this is why playing defense would be great, but I don't really have a weapon suitable for that. I mean, at the very least, this has been a decent back and forth. Ow. So I think we're about to just lose it. Yeah. Man, how much better would clam boots be if you couldn't super jump with any clams? If you just dropped them when you went to super jump. It'd be so much better. Yeah, I kinda do. If it wasn't Moray Towers, I would be perfectly okay with doing a bit of clam, but just, hate that map on clam. Though I know if they were to, like, remove the ability to super jump with, you know, holding any clam of any sort, A, there'd probably be a decent amount of backlash, and B, everyone would just switch to playing brushes. Well, I think the host is lagging. I mean, it quite honestly would make sense if you couldn't super jump with like a ball of a clam or a ball. Purely because, well, if doing a splashdown, which is just a tiny super jump, makes you drop the ball or any clams you're holding, then in theory a super jump, which is a much larger jump and takes a wind-up to do, should also make you drop it. Ow. Like, I wouldn't even mind if it was a case of, like, you drop it upon landing. Ow. It would at least need picked back up again for you to actually do anything with it. Yes, person, I know you've given up, but I refuse to. Okay, it's the Squiffer. Not a huge loss, then. Ow. Ow. And that's kind of the thing, like, I wouldn't mind if they, could just pick it back up, as long as they couldn't just land and throw it before you have a chance to do anything about them. Because basically, if you're super jumping to a spot, you can throw it before you've landed. So they'd need to drop it at that same moment you can start performing actions throughout the super jump. And just have it land where you would land. But that way you can't just throw it before you've hit the ground, basically. I mean, like, one of the clams I threw in that match we played, I threw it before I hit the ground. And that just feels wrong. I shouldn't be able to influence the outcome of the game from a state where I can't be harmed. Like, that's, well, I'm sure you can be, like, shot at that point, but good luck, My word, is this, like, the first thing we've kind of agreed on? Mark the calendar! Though I could almost guarantee there would be people getting very angry about that sort of change. Especially where it's one that would be coming at basically the end of the game's life cycle. Like, that's something Nintendo would have had to have done a lot sooner. Ow. But it's pretty clear that Nintendo doesn't see it as a problem. Either that or they just don't really care about balancing Clam Blitz. Like, they realized it's one of the community's least favorite game modes, so just like, you know what? No one really plays it anyway. Let's just ignore it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that was kind of a waste of some pentamissiles. Oh well. I should really at some point, this is completely off topic, I should really at some point get back to work on one of my multiple games I'm working on. Be it my TCG or RPG. One of the two. The TCG is going to require more work, so I should probably work on it more. I need to work out more of the base mechanics for my TCG is what I need to do for it. Well, I mean, the match before the rotation, you were kind of kicking my butt, so... It's only fair I return the favor in this match. Yeah, the only thing I know for certain about the TCG I'm making is that I don't want it to ever fall victim to power creep. For at least as long as I'm working on it, I don't want it to ever be power crept. And I say that because there are some TCGs that went great until the development team changed. Because that can always happen. Like if someone came to me with a lot of money and went, hey, I want to buy your game. Like the whole thing. And kick you off the team. I'd be like, yeah, sure, give me the money. Like Hearthstone. That was a remarkably more balanced game before Activision stepped in. And Activision are kind of the reason it's no longer a remarkably balanced game. Darn it. I also don't want to fall into the same trappings that Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of has with they really can't give good draw cards, because if they do, like good generic draw cards anyway, because if they do, it'll break everything, because everything's built on special summons, which you have a limitless number of per turn. Meanwhile, you get things like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone, or even Pokemon, where you can draw as many cards as you want, but unless you have the resources to actually use them, they're worthless. Though at the same time, that is kind of one of the things I like about Yu-Gi-Oh! which is just how, you know, almost every card in your hand will probably have a use. Unless you're playing Ojamas, in which case every card in your hand was a mistake, and you should never have played Ojamas in the first place. Was a valiant effort on my team's part. I think when it comes to TCGs as well, is like, I like the resource building systems of like Hearthstone or Magic. But I also don't like how it makes lower cost cards basically useless. To the point where if you don't draw them first turn, you may as well have not had them in your deck. Which is kind of the bonus to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it more punishes high cost creatures. Which is where special summons became so broken. Was because they gave you a way of getting high-cost cards out for basically free. And Little Billy has to spend 2 turns to get a 2,500 attack monster, and you just need to discard a card to get one. You're gonna win. There's really no incentive to run that, you know, that tribute summoned monster. Because, well, it takes resources. Meanwhile, the other one, while it still technically takes a resource, takes one from your hand, and that's not the worst thing. Because it didn't also take a turn as well. Ow. Right, main power-up is damage up for a sniper. I was about to be like, but wait, I know he wasn't fully charged, and then all that main power-up. At least for the default sniper. True, but it wasn't a half-charge shot. It was definitely... I'd say he was probably... From what I remember of the charge time, he was probably close to... 4/5 through his charge. Ow. So... Like, he was nearly there, but it wasn't quite. So I had yet to jump. Huh. I don't know how I died, because I know he wasn't full charge, and I hadn't taken damage. Ow. Probably lag. There's a good chance it was lag. Match ends, the guy has like 50 kills. We know it wasn't lag. I do remember, like, ages ago, there was some Japanese viewer came to the stream and was like, hey, I'm using a cheat that lets me one-hit kill. But he'd be ending matches with like 2-3 kills. So I kind of question if he actually was. I still, after that stream, removed him from my friends list, just in case. I wasn't even paying attention to the scores. I think the sniper only had like 4 or 5 kills, though. Not as far as I know, the guy that was like, hey, I got, you know, I'm one shot killing people, even though it really didn't seem like it. I don't think he ever came back. Oh hey, it's the Mighty Bear 7. The Ursa Major. It's an Earthbound reference. Kind of. No one really knows what Mighty Bear 7 is meant, but like what it means. It's just the name of a bear in Earthbound. I keep wanting to say Undertale. Games are so similar. Oh jeez, dualies everywhere. We who are about to be shot in the face twice salute you. Oh, there's one shot from the Googlas. Ow. I at least took the Googlas with me. I think they splatted me first. Yes, they did. So they didn't get their quick respawn. Why would you run quick respawn with something like Googlas? They're a weapon made for murdering. My problem with myself trying to think of like things for my TCG is if I think of anything neat, I'm gonna want to write it down, and I can't right now. I mean, when it comes to quick respawn, I myself don't see the point to running it in the first place. Because if you're actually doing your job as a, you know, whatever weapon it is, unless it's something that really does not want to splat people, like in Junior. Like, unless you're not splatting anybody, ever, it's just wasted equipment slots that you could use for, like, run speed or swim speed. Or ink savers, so you can keep shooting longer, especially on dualies. Where you're using up your ink to dodge roll. True, I do understand that, like, you can make mistakes and end up dying without splatting anybody. But my point is, like, you'd have a higher chance of, you know, actually splatting someone before you go down if you had better mobility, or didn't run out of ink as quickly, or, you know. It's just kind of another case of, like, I don't like things that can potentially not work. It's part of the reason I don't like torpedoes, is they can potentially not do anything. I understand when they do things, it's awesome. But there's the chance they don't, so I'm not the biggest fan of them. I think I'd honestly probably like quick respawn if it gave you, like, half of the effect if you splat somebody. So that way, it's still helping you. But then probably everything would just go back to being stealth jump, quick respawn. I mean, I can only really use myself as a baseline, but I find that, at least myself, I'll tend to, on most lives, end up splatting somebody before I go down, or as I go down. Which is another part of my problem with quick respawn, like, because if you splat someone just before they splat you, you don't gain the effect. So I think it's safe to say I am doing rather well with these things. Ow. I say that as I die. With the splatter shot. I should wait another second. Oh jeez, alright, Joy-Con's derping. There we go. I don't know why it does that. Oh, it is still doing it, okay. Best way to put it is it effectively just sometimes kind of resets itself. God, did Nintendo put Windows 10 in there? That would explain so much. Yeah, those poor little buggers really didn't stand a chance. Because, like, when they would get past you, they'd run into me. And both of us outrange them. Ow. 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 Ah! Suction bombs for the win! Well, more for the revenge kill. Ow. That point gal, jeez. Willing to bet they were made of a lot of main power-up. Try and counteract their bad accuracy. The other times I accidentally was part of the double teaming you there, it was more just I accidentally did it. Like, the I believe it was your death to a baller there. I had just fell off the ledge and was like, oh geez, someone's here. Because that's just how I roll. Wish I could remind that pack person that they do still have a gun while they're using their bomb rush. And they probably could have splatted me. I feel kind of bad for that brush. They're trying. But they're a brush. So they can kind of try all they want. They're kind of at a disadvantage. Especially where they're the Sheldon's pick. It's the pro or whatnot. I don't know. Version that in the first game was actually kind of competitively viable. But in the second game here, it is not good at all. I would argue that even it is not good because it's a brush. It itself isn't good. Its kit might be good, but it itself is not good. I mean, that brush, the Sheldon's pick brush, is probably really good at getting ink armor off. I still fall into the camp of it's not a good weapon. Mostly because it does the exact same job as the carbon roller. But the carbon roller does that job better. At basically the same range. The Octobrush has a bit more range, giving it a bit of an advantage, but they're still ambush killers. They're not exactly something that you want to see coming, want to be seen coming with. Unless you're already within your range. They are fun, however. Like, I can't take how fun a brush is away from them. They are very fun weapons. Fair enough, but on kill speed, I'm almost willing to bet a carbon roller would still be better. Well, I suppose I keep saying that on remembering what carbon rollers used to be. with 4 vertical swings. Okay, that sniper's not really going to be much of a threat. Just remember to stay away from that part of the map. They do definitely weaken it to what compared to what it was. Especially for old sods like me that, like, I still have the muscle memory of first game Carbon Roller. Because it made you a much harder target leaping out of the ink and swinging horizontally. And it also made it a lot harder for the opponent to not die. Ow. Teammate, thought you were going to approach too. I mean, wider kill areas are always going to be better. True, but they were easier to hit before. That's kind of my point. Like, it was easier to hit a horizontal swing coming out of the ink than it is to hit a vertical swing coming out of the ink. I mean, it's clearly still possible, people still do it, but it was definitely easier before. Which is probably why they gave brushes the vertical swing. Ow. Because brushes weren't exactly weak in the first game. I mean, fair enough. Don't really know. I have been kind of thinking of... It's not exactly a new game to stream, I've streamed it once before. But I've been thinking of streaming Earth Defense Force 4.1, The Shadows of New Despair, again. Mostly because I just love that game. It's just arcadey fun, and I love it. I at some point want to stream through a Mario game. It's like a Mario platformer. Because I need that kind of incentive to actually force my way through one. 'Cause I suck at platformers. But on, like, brand new games, I probably won't be streaming any of those, because I don't own any, like, modern games. Not really modern, anyway. Like, I don't think I have any game that's released yet, like, released this year, kind of thing. Ow. I am hoping to get my hands on Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution when it releases on the Switch. Same with Animal Crossing when it releases on the Switch. And Pokemon Sword and Shield when it releases. If I can get the money for any of them. My main priority, though, is Pokemon. Like, if I can get the money between now and its release, I do very much plan on just pre-ordering it. Because I still have enough faith in Nintendo to pre-order what they're saying is a main series Pokemon game. I fully expect that faith to be misplaced, and for me to be very disappointed in the game. I have enough faith to pre-order, not enough faith to actually assume it's going to be a good game. Not after Let's Go. Nintendo proved with Let's Go that they are going to start catering to the lowest common denominator. Thanks, I'm dead. Thinking of Yu-Gi-Oh! I should also do some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro at some point. I'll grab a different weapon for a bit. I also kind of want to turn just one day out of every month just into kind of a more or less just relaxing day, where I just do something along the lines of like the American Truck Sim or Euro Truck, or just something relaxing that I can just turn my brain off for. Alright, Rand. Have a good night. Let's see if I can still mini Splatling. Ow. I should really get back to working on some of my games. I might actually stream that at some point. It's the RPG I'm working on I could easily stream, because I'm doing it in the RPG Maker. Other things would be a bit more difficult, but I would need to get a bit further in making my TCG before I could really do anything tangible for streaming it. Oh, Thermalink, I think. Or is that Haunt? It's hard to tell. Yeah, I do know I like the idea of Yu-Gi-Oh! Summoning. I just want to try and keep it, like, doing that sort of thing of having basically, effectively, like, you know, normal summoning, special summoning, that sort of stuff. But doing it in such a way that I could actually still have draw cards? Like, that would be nice. Like, generic draw cards. So, like, the way my brain is kind of going at the moment is basically just making the game have a imposed summon limit at all times. Those who don't know, a summon limit is a Yu-Gi-Oh card that basically says either player can only special summon twice a turn. I think honestly that would fix a lot of problems with Yu-Gi-Oh, as if that was just implemented all the time. But then a lot of the current like main meta decks would just not work anymore. It is like the go-to floodgate if you're playing like a slow or stally deck to just beat the meta. Because they can't get to their spell and trap removal with 2 special summons. Well, I suppose summon limit says summon twice per... They can only summon twice per turn. That includes summon and normal normal and special summon. Yeah, I can speak. But like they meta decks just can't get to their spell and trap removal on that because everyone uses a card called Nightmare Phoenix, which is a link 2 monster, meaning you need to use 2 monsters as tribute to summon it. Meaning you need to have 2 monsters on the field to make it. That's your 2 summons. Though I suppose these days people have started siding in, and even main decking, spell and trap removal. Because there's a field spell that's making everyone butthurt, and I love it. Because my slower non-meta decks don't have a problem with it. Ow. Ow. Okay, that tells me roughly where he is. Thank you, person. Kind of embarrassing that we got stalled up by an arrow spray for that long. Ow. So I think this will be the last match of the stream. I am still kind of lightheaded, and would very much like to go back to sleep. Yeah, tomorrow I will be probably going back to Pokemon. Continue our Pokemon Emerald adventure. You know, I said I was going to get back to it ages ago, and then didn't, and yeah. I will also one of these days get back to Mother 3, but I'm going to be basically starting the game again when I do. Hello, Azure Toast. Get here just as the stream is about to end. I do apologize for that, but I need rest. For I am a sick boy. I probably shouldn't even be streaming, but I hate not streaming. I just enjoy doing it. I will be streaming tomorrow, though. I can guarantee that. And I will hopefully be going the full time tomorrow. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I might also, if I wake up again in like a couple hours from like napping, I might just start the stream up again tonight. Who knows? I'll ping the Discord if I do. Yeah, with that, I would like to thank everyone who's come out to watch, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow for more streaming. It'll probably be Pokemon tomorrow, and then back to Splatoon the day after. And then, yeah, hopefully I can get back into that pattern. Yeah, as I mentioned, there is a Discord, should anyone wish to join it. It's linked in the description of YouTube, info on Twitch. That said, thanks everyone for watching, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. So, see you then.